Hello team, welcome to my session on Coffee with Prabh, and today we're going to discuss about how to start learning information security with Comptia certifications or Comptia content. Trust me, Comptia has not sponsored this video, neither I'm doing a marketing of the Comptia material. I myself witness the content of Comptia, which is very useful for my clients, and it is also useful for me when I was making a career or building a career in cybersecurity 10 years back, 15 years back. So I thought I will share my experience in this video because I also receive a lot of emails and also on Insta and all that. Prabh, you already covered a video of the different career opportunities in the cybersecurity, but do you have any kind of a structure material which I can follow, which can build the foundation? So Comptia is basically the best option for that. See, I'm not telling you you must go. Okay, check if this content is available in any channel. You can refer that content because by end of the day you need to have a learning. So if you find the similar content in any platform or any resources, that can be a good starting point for information security. That is the only reason I'm covering this video. Okay, so this video is all about how the Comptia material can be useful for you to build your foundation in the information security and cybersecurity. My name is Prabh Nair. For more information, you can refer my LinkedIn profile. I'm also planning to make more videos for the beginners. So if you're new to my channel, do subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to make sure you should not miss my future videos. My YouTube channel having all the content which is a vendor neutral. And whatever the content I'm covering in my YouTube channels, it is not being promoted by any vendor. So I'm trying to give the more transparent advice to my participants. Okay, so without wasting a time, let's start with the first part. So when you're talking about information security career options, so we have a different opportunities we have in the information security. But perhaps cybersecurity, definitely cybersecurity is a part of the information security only. So information security is the umbrella. Cybersecurity is one of the part of the umbrella. Information security deal with all type of asset protection, physical, technical and all that. Whereas the cybersecurity deal with the digital assets. So in the information security, the first opportunity you have to become a penetration tester, which is part of the security testing. Okay, so example, a lot of companies hire penetration testers. A lot of companies hire companies to test their products to just check how secure is their product. So before the hackers hack into their products, they want to proactively test that everything is safe or not. So they hire professionals who think like a hackers, who think like a bad actors, and try to hack. And if they find any gap, they provide the necessary report. In my previous video, I covered that. So in the description box, I can give the details. Okay. So penetration testers, bug bounty, application security, that is basically come under the security testing. Programming language, you need to know. Basics of information security, you need to know. Basics of organization structures, assets, OS, network, you need to know for the security testing. Then second vertical, we have a security forensics and operations. So security forensics is also called as a digital forensics. Okay. So example, if any company face any kind of a security breach or some hacker hack into the networks and all that, we would like to investigate who hacked that. We need to investigate how this hack happened, who commit this crime. So we hire professionals who investigate that. That's why we have this DFIR, okay, digital forensic incident response team, okay, forensic team. That is basically the field called security forensics and operation. Scripting knowledge, programming knowledge is required very limited, but you need to have a very good understanding about the OS, networks and systems. Then the third profile is called as security products. Company install a lot of security solutions to protect the organization from all kind of an attacks like EDR, XDR, firewall, DLP and all that. And they hire professionals to manage that solution. So that come under the security products. And last is called as a security management. Security management is all about the people who involved in building the security process. See what we need in the organization before that, we need to build the process. We need to ensure everything is working as per the business objective. We need to ensure my overall organization should be compliance with the legal, regulatory and other regulations. Okay, so we need a compliance specialist. We need auditors. We need a people who build process, security process. We need some people who are basically involved in building policies. So that vertical come under the security management. Example profiles like auditor, security consultant, risk consultant, these kind of things come in the security management. Do I need to know programming language? No. But do I need to know the process? Yes. Do I need to know OS details? Yes. Do I need to know networks? Yes. Do I need to know IT? Yes. So these are the 4 career opportunities we have in the information security. Now let's understand how Comptia build foundation for all the 4 elements. Before going to security testing, forensics, product and management, there are some pointers which is very common, which you need to know in all the 4 things. Good understanding of the OS, good understanding of the networking, good understanding of the security. And that is covered in the Comptia Security Plus and N Plus. So Comptia Security Plus, N Plus basically help you with the foundation knowledge of information security. So you want to become an auditor, you want to become a product specialist, you want to become a pen tester, you want to become a forensic guy. It is highly recommend you need to know the basics of IT. So as I said, if you find security plus content, network plus content in any YouTube channel or anything, then you can refer that also. As I said, I'm not here to promote their products, but it will save some time. You're getting a point? Because you need to do research. Okay, how to start, what to start. So you want some sequence. So security plus and N plus, their content is just like a benchmark. It's just like a baseline for you to start the things in the information security. Neither for the auditor, consultant, product specialist. So we'll do one thing. We'll start first with the N plus content. When you're talking about N plus, okay, the N plus basically covers some of the pointers, like they cover the network fundamentals. See, in order to protect anything, you need to know what is you need to protect. So network fundamentals are basically where they're talking about the networking services, they talk about physical connection, they talk about topology, they talk about the architecture, they talk about the cloud connectivity. So that is covered in the network fundamentals. Then second is called as a network implementation, where they're going to discuss about routing technologies, networking device, deploy solutions, configure wireless technologies. So that is basically part of the network implementation. Then we talk about the network operation. In network operation, they basically cover about how to monitor, optimize the network to ensure the business continuity, how to manage the network. Then the next is basically called as a network security. In this, they basically discuss about the different attacks, techniques they will use against the network, what are the possible threats we have against the network. And finally, we talk about the network troubleshooting, where we're talking about, cable connectivity, software issues related to the networking. So moral of the story is that whatever is basic required in IT and IT networking, that you need to understand. Okay, whether you're going for forensic investigation, pen testing, because when you're doing a pen testing, you're doing a pen testing against a network. Until unless you don't know basics on network, how you do the pen testing. See, that is a different story. You go to YouTube and search for the tool, and step-by-step process by which they're using a tool to perform the pen test, you can do that. By that way, you can able to learn the tool, but you will not able to learn the concepts. So before doing a pen testing against a network, network, that is covered in the N plus. If you're doing for forensic investigation, where you're analyzing the network logs and everything, you need to know network contents, that is covered in the N plus. When you're going for an audit in the firewalls and all that, you need to know network. Until unless you don't know the firewall, DLP and all that, how you do that, that is covered in the N plus. And if you're talking about your building policies for the network parameters and all that, until unless you don't have any visibility about what is network parameter, it is difficult to create a policies. When I started my cybersecurity and information security career, I started with the first is N plus only. With that, I also use the data communication book. I'm sure you have read that book in a PTech or BSc. So data communication frozen book was my reference material to understand the networking concepts. So it is very important for you to know the basics. Okay, so let me show you the course content also. Okay, see, as I said, this is the course outline of the N plus we have. Okay, that you can refer as a benchmark. They're starting with the OSI model first, because in order to troubleshoot anything, in order to secure anything, you should know how the two computers are communicating with each other. So OSI model is very important for you, and that is how the N plus is also starting their content. In Comptia, they understood the perspective about the audience, and they know very well, okay, no one is expert. So whoever coming for the N plus, they want to know from us basics. and they respect that opinion, they respect the feedback, and that is why they have started with the first thing is called OSI. So that is why I said you can refer any course outline which help you to set up the benchmark. Okay, and this course outline built by the experts, right? So definitely they build better for you. So they have started with the n plus with OSI models and all that. Then they basically discuss about the different kind of protocols and everything. Okay, then they slowly and gradually move to the network topologies. We have discussed about the different type of topologies, the discuss about the different type of networks. Then they discuss about the NFV virtualizations. Then moving to the next part, they're talking about the cabling. Then this is a very important thing when you're working in the pen testing side or you're working on the security operation side and all that, because security operation is all about managing a security. Okay, proactively handle the threats, alerts, vulnerabilities associated with the organization. So that is basically role of a security operation. So in my description of video, I can share the URL of how to become a SOC specialist. So it's very important for you to know the different kind of a broadcasting IP address and everything. Then these protocols are very, very important protocols for the secure communication. So that understanding you need. So N plus is basically covering that content. Along with that, they also talk about the purpose of network services. All these network services are very important in the organizations where if you're talking about pen tester try to exploit and security operation try to protect, or security product specialist try to implement the solution to protect all these things. Then data center, it's very important for you to know the basics of data center. Then we talk about the cloud, the best thing in the N plus content, they cover the cloud also, very, very important. Then they talk about the network implementation where they're talking about the devices, they're talking about the routing protocols. Then they're talking about the layer 2 communication. They also covered a specific module on the wireless security. Okay, wireless and wireless security. Along with that, in the network operation, they talk about the SOC, okay, how the network works. So this section is helpful for your second career option, which is called forensics and investigation, and also in the security products and also in the security management. Here they're also talking about the policy. This is basically part of the governance function. So governance element is also covered in the N plus, which is very good. Okay, then we're talking about their disaster recovery devices and all that. Okay, then they talk about the network security, which is a core security parameters they have covered. Trust me, the content which they covered in the N plus related to this particular things, it is help you to understand the basics. So that is basically covered here. Okay, it is helpful for your security management and security product area also. Then they're talking about the hardening. Then they're talking about the troubleshootings and everything. So this is a great content they have in the N plus. Okay. So you can see that, there's a lot of content they have covered in the N plus. So if you take your 2 months time, I'm also sharing in my further slide, I'm going to also discuss about what are the references, materials you can refer by which you can able to learn all this thing in free also. So don't worry. As I said, this video was not promoted by any vendor. This is a pure educational video, which is basically help you to understand how to start learning information security. That is my ultimate objective in this video. Now, after understanding the basic network and all that, let's move to the Security Plus. Now in Security Plus, you're going to learn about information security triad, attack threats and vulnerabilities. Then we have architecture and design. Then they talk about administration of cryptography, PKI in detail. Then organization security assessment, incident response procedures, risk mitigation, basic digital forensics, and last is called as a governance, risk and compliance. So if you notice this, information security triad is applicable for all the four career opportunities, because this is the basics. Attack threats will be useful in the product for the security testing and security operations and security audits. Administrating of the identity access management cryptography useful for your product vertical, also useful for the cloud security, forensics, and this is basically overall helpful in the forensic investigations and incident response. Along with that, we have a GRC section which is covered from the security management side. So you can see that all the 4 parameters, all the 4 career contents is covered in the Security Plus. Let me show you the course content so you get a better visibility about the Security Plus. So this is basically the course content. The first part, they're talking about the threats vulnerability, where they have discussed about different type of threats, different type of attacks, which is a very good start. Then they discuss about the scenarios in which how things works, the different kind of a malware, and best thing is that they're covering the new content of technology, new technologies and all that, AI, ML, how the AI, ML is used, supply chain attacks and all that. Then if you move ahead, they also talk about the core information security element, which talk about the attacks and everything, which is very useful for your pen testing or in your bug bounty and all that. Then this part, which is talking about the attack section, this is basically very useful in your SOC and forensic investigations. So they have covered, especially they have included the OT content also. Okay. Then the next part, we basically talk about your core intelligence threats and everything. The best thing is that they have covered now how to do the OSINT. They also covered the threat intelligence, which is a new emerging thing. They also covered the attacks vectors, which is very useful. Then they talk about the vulnerabilities area. And then this is a very useful for the security operation centers if you want to make a career in the SOC and all that. So this can be a good starting point. And then they talk about the passive reconnaissance. This is basically useful for your penetration testing and bug bounty side. Then they have discussed about the architectural design. You can imagine in the model 1 itself, they have covered everything. Then 2.0, which talk about the architecture more from a product side. In N+, we discuss about the cloud, and here they also talking about the security of the cloud and the virtualization. This is basically very useful in your application security testing, DevSecOps, forensics and everything, and also in the security management. This is also very useful. This is a very important element which can be useful for your pen testing and audit sites, because it's very important for you to exploit the authentications. Then they talk about the network security. This is the new content they have added, where they have discussed about the SCADA and all that IoT, which is very useful in your product security and your forensic investigations. This is also useful from the point of view of physical security. This is a cryptography. No other vendor has covered such detailed cryptography, trust me. So that's a very good content they have implemented. And then we have a implementation section, which is basically talk about the protocol security, infrastructure security, which is very useful. Then they talk about the network security. This is a very useful content for your network security in SOC area. If you're making a career in SOC, so this content is very useful. Okay. This is all content is very useful for your SOC area. Okay. So I will share this course outline that give you better visibility about, see, they have a dedicated model for forensic investigations. And this section is basically for the people who want to make a career in the audit, compliance and everything. So this can be a good benchmark to start. Now, why I recommend Comptia? Okay. Why I recommend Comptia, or why I recommend Comptia as a starting point. See, if you refer any random source with any random content and all that, we don't know who published that. Comptia authors, Comptia experts, they have a 20 plus 30 plus year of experience who build the content. They do the research, they do analysis, they do market survey, and based on that they come up with the content. And Comptia has a name from last 40 years in the industry. So if you are into cybersecurity, or if you wish to start something cybersecurity, my suggestion is that we should always start with some expert guidance, and Comptia is already have a expert guidance parameter. So that is why in this particular session I was giving more emphasis on the Comptia, because that can be the easy way to get into the cybersecurity. Okay, it will take less time. But the question is, what are the resources? How to learn this security plus and N plus? That's a question. So to learn security plus N plus, as I promised, I also share the resources. So first topmost is Professor Messer. You can go to YouTube and type Professor Messer. You will find his channel. In his channel, he have dumped all the materials of security plus and N plus. That is a good starting point. Then Sunny Classroom. The best thing about Sunny Classroom is that he also, if you go to YouTube and type Sunny Classroom, you get the videos. He also organized some of the topics in a very small manner and explain in a very easy way. Then we have a FedVT, Federal Virtual Training Environment. They also have a content. Cybrary is also there. Online Stanford EDU is there. Okay, so this is something is a free resource which I found very authentic. Okay, apart from that, if you find any other video resource, do share your feedback in the comment box. Do let me know what are the other resources you would like to recommend. But this is something is a free resource which I found authentic, which can be a starting point for your cybersecurity and all that. So this is all from my side, team. If you find this video useful, do share your network. Might be it is a useful for others. Okay, might be someone get a benefit from this video. And I'm also planning to make more videos which build more transparency about cybersecurity, information security, that save your time and efforts. Okay. So if still not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to make sure you should not miss my future videos on a similar topic. So this is all from my side. Thank you so much. Goodbye.